Hey guys, welcome back to the Mostly Movies podcast with Nick and Christian. He's Nick, I'm Christian, coming at you with a very exciting episode today.
Is that
Breaking down
sarcasm?
halfway.
Okay. All right.
Halfway, and I'll say, I'll get to it. But first, as always, guys, head over to our YouTube, our TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, pending, all of that, and like and subscribe.
X.
Like and
It's called
subscribe.
X.
Yeah, X, the artist formerly known as Twitter, X. Go over there and subscribe to all of our channels, please, and thank you. It helps us out the best. We did get a good amount of views, you were telling me.
We did. Last couple of reels, we got a lot of engagement, both on TikTok and Instagram. Normally, we don't get as much engagement on Instagram, but we did on our Jim Carrey bit, which had to do, people were
The Grinch?
talking about that little segment. Do you watch our reels that I post? Did I tag you in?
Yeah.
All right. So you know
Most
what
of
I'm talking
them.
about then. Yeah.
The good thing about Reels is you only have to have like 3 good moments in every hour podcast, and you could just clip that because that's all anyone's gonna watch anyways.
Well, it's so crazy to look at the analytics on even on the reel. Like a reel is somewhere between 40 and 60 seconds, depending on the clip. And the average watch time is like 7 seconds, right? Not even that. Now, granted, it's because people are swiping through it, right? And I don't know how they work it. Like if someone swipes through within less than a second, are they really even counting that as a view? I don't know. So I think you have to be on it at least like 1 full second or 2 full seconds before it even counts as a view. But anyway, we had over 1,000 views on both TikTok and Instagram on the Jim Carrey CIA reel. So it was good.
Have you been snooping around in the comments at all? I haven't been.
There hasn't really been any. There's been one comment.
Okay.
Which was because in the reel that we took on the podcast, I was like, I can't remember if it was the Navy SEALs or CIA. And so someone was like, I got you, guy. It's the CIA. And they put that in the comment. Thanks.
What was?
Remember I said, I don't know when Jim Carrey had to do his anti-torture training is like they consulted either the SEALs or the CIA.
Yeah, definitely the CIA.
I had but
I said is the
well, right. Well, and obviously, I mean, I said, I can't remember which in the podcast, in the clip, but then obviously when I went to post it, I had already in my head, I was like, yeah, it's the CIA. So I put that in the caption of the reel, but the guy he still commented and was like, it's the CIA. Yeah. So
yeah.
Other than that, we haven't really had any comments. So now that's the reason for that is because, I'm Kraven Pizza, which is you, the great handle for tonight,
and
hasn't been as controversial on the X or in our reels lately, or at least the things I've clipped haven't been as controversial. We got a pretty good engagement on the Peter Dinklage one as well, but kind of I use AI for the clips. I'm not doing those manually right now at this point in time. So sometimes we get lucky and it captures some good ones. Sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, maybe we're just making excellent points now.
I don't think that's it.
Maybe the takes are getting better. Maybe our people are coming around on the Bob Dylan take after seeing the movie and realizing he had zero cultural impact on anything.
Guys, you got to follow us on our reels and watch our previous episodes to get Christian's Bob Dylan take that set the TikTok ablaze.
Don't throw me under the bus.
What I say? Oh, our Bob Dylan take. Oh, sorry. Yeah. No. But I'm not the star of the reel. You are. But it's my favorite reel that we've done so far because as I said, AI clips these, but that one was clipped to absolute perfection because it's just Christian. Bob Dylan stinks, and it just leads right into it. It's great. It's unbelievable. Let's maybe kick off this week. I have a feeling you may have another not so hot take on the film we saw tonight. Why don't you tell the listeners what we did tonight?
Yeah, we went and saw Kraven.
The Sony Pictures produced Kraven,
yes, Sony,
but also
Marvel.
In association with Marvel. So,
well, that's what they have to do with the characters that they license, because now Disney owns Marvel, obviously.
Right.
So they can't. Anytime they're using a character from Marvel, they have to say in association with. But yeah, I don't think I think my take might surprise you a little bit.
It always does. It depends on which way it's surprising me.
But so this is Also, this is the last installment for Sony in the Spider-Man universe, I believe. I just saw some news on it the other day, or a couple tweets on it the other day, saying that they're no longer making any more Spider-Man movies or any movies about villains in the Spider-Man universe, because I believe, well, Kraven was definitely one of them. Did you catch that little Daily Bugle nugget too when she was looking at news articles and it said Daily
I
Bugle?
didn't see that. No, I did not see that. That's my bad for missing the Easter
Okay.
egg there.
Well, yeah, yeah, it was a nice little Easter egg, but yeah. So Craven's in the Spider-Man universe, obviously Venom, Madam Web, and then Morbius. But Venom movies have been the only ones that I think have been commercially even
Successful.
profitable. I think Morbius was terrible. I never saw it, but it
I
became
saw
a. It
Morbius, so
was
I can comment on that later. But in terms of
yeah.
Craven,
I honestly I thought it was all right. I thought it was okay. There was some really bad writing in spots, and some surprisingly bad acting from Aaron
yes,
Taylor Johnson, which could have, and to me it wasn't even script related, because there were some very simple lines that he had to say, and the girl, I don't know the actress's name, but the girl interest, there was like some very simple.
Ariana DeBose is her name.
Okay. Yeah, there was some moments where they had to deliver very simple lines, and it just sounded it just sounded ridiculous.
Yeah, you're right. Like I thought it was just the writing, and I think in spots it was. But yeah, maybe the writing was so bad that the line couldn't even been delivered
Well,
good. I don't know.
well, no, like it was like it was simple lines that were the worst to me. Not like, in like most of the writing I thought was okay. Did you also catch that scene where the helicopter drops the bombs on the forest, and then Aaron Taylor Johnson says something like,
And
"No,
he didn't,
that's
and his
not."
mouth didn't move.
He didn't even say the words.
I totally saw that.
He
I
goes, "Well,
absolutely saw that. It was like they voiced it over, but didn't it didn't
have
even
him
sound
act it."
like him. It was almost like some guy in the grip, the sound booth was like, I'm putting my voice in this. That was weird. Yeah, you're right. It kind of reminded me of well, totally different thing, but you know the not it's not actually an urban myth anymore. It's actually been proven, and I fact checked this myself. We're gonna go a little off kilter for a second, but it reminded me of. Do you know about the Aladdin secret voice whispering thing?
No.
You don't know about this. Okay. So there's three things that are well known in the early 90s Disney verse. There's a
They put a
Little
dick on a
Mermaid.
trident.
So that the Little Mermaid one, you know that's on the cover. It's
Okay,
not
yeah.
on the trident. It's not the trident, but it's in the castle or whatever
Okay.
behind her. So that's that. And then in Lion King they have the whole, and this one's debatable, but when he lays down and the leaves go into the sky, if you pause it right, it spells out sex in Lion King.
Okay.
Uh, you can freeze frame it and see it, but it's almost kind of like, do you just want to see it kind of thing? But it is there. And then the one that I fact checked when I heard this, and this is like right when the internet first came out, 1997. Like this, we're going back. I had heard this thing, and it might have not even have been the internet. It might have just been the radio, honestly. But there was a rumor going around that you can hear Aladdin telling Jasmine to take off her clothes if you listen really closely.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So I, of course, being a 15-year-old boy at the time, I was like, I gotta see if this is true. Well, we had this on cassette tape. I played it. I put my ear right next to the freaking speaker, and you absolutely can hear it. 100% you can hear it, which is crazy. But it reminded me of that in Kraven today, because it's like you just hear it so quick. You're like, did that just happen? And it was just terrible. It was so crazy. I couldn't even believe it happened. I was like, did he not? Did he say that? Did his mouth move? It didn't even look like he said that.
Yeah. And I was
And
like,
then you laughed, and of course I was like, okay, he got that too then.
uh,
Oh,
yeah, I was like, were they trying to imply that he was just thinking that? But he said yeah, it was
just ridiculous.
obviously bad, bad editing. I really loved the villain, Rhino. I thought he was great.
He's the best thing in the movie, I think.
Yeah, he was probably the best part of the movie.
Played by Alessandro Nivola, and
Never.
I've never heard of him. I'm trying to look him up now. I got nothing on him. He's got
Yeah,
nothing.
I've never seen him in my life. No, but I thought he was great, and I thought his character was well written. again,
Yeah,
like I
his
thought
was
it was
great.
really well written. Whether some of that was him improving or whatever, but he had a lot of
Right.
really funny lines. The other villain was pretty cool. There was a lot of different villains in this too.
Yeah, there's a lot
But
going on.
yeah, but Russell Crowe was great. It was your basic, daddy issue, story where he doesn't approve of the kids, and the kid runs away, and Can we talk about too? The way he becomes the hunter, it was so fucking lazy. It's literally Spider-Man.
Uh,
So the kid gets
no, it's
attacked
not
by
even. It's not even that good. It's not.
yeah. So the kid gets attacked by a lion, and the lion, who's like basically the Jaws of lions, by the way, hilarious. He took, or the 50. Matter of fact, a better analogy would be 50 Cent, because he took like 8 shots, 9 shots.
Get rich or die, lion.
Yeah, and end it there.
Yeah, going out. I'm out. That's it. Going out on top.
That's the best we're gonna do this episode.
That's it, guys. He did. He looked like Scar, and a better Scar than the live action Lion King Scar we saw.
Yeah, he was roided up, dude.
Dude, he looked legit.
The kid
was.
The kid was on whatever Aaron Rodriguez had.
Aaron Rodgers.
Alex
Aaron
Rodriguez.
What's Aaron?
Alex? No,
it's
Alex.
Aaron. No, it's Aaron Hernandez.
No. I'm talking about steroids. Alex Rodriguez.
We're mixing sports, drugs, and ethnicities in one take.
And
wow,
triple murder if we're talking Aaron Hernandez.
That's just terrible. Well, we triple murdered that analogy, so we just did. Oh god. All right. So anyway, get to the kid. So how he becomes Kraven. Yeah.
So the hunter and his brother their dad, Russell Crowe, takes them hunting in the safari to toughen them up because they're pussies, apparently.
And he's supposed to be like a mob boss, I guess.
Yes.
But you don't really know what his criminal overlordship is based on, which they never get to, which is also stupid, but go ahead.
Yeah, and also, did he kill the mom or not? But yeah, we'll get to that too. Yeah, so he takes the kids on safari, and he's looking for this like legendary tiger, I guess. Lion. Sorry, liger. He's looking for a legendary liger because his whole thing is, if I kill this lion, I'm gonna be cemented in poacher history or whatever.
I think this is the other one of the many plot holes in it. But one of the things that was like, he's supposed to be a hunter himself.
Correct.
Which I think what they were trying to say was that Russell Crowe was a very accomplished hunter, and many hunters have gone to the region of Ghana or wherever they were to hunt this lion, and no one's ever done it, and lots of people have died or whatever. So it was like one of those things. Like he's trying to cement his name and hunting legacy.
Right.
That's what Russell Crowe was trying to do.
And then also selling cocaine and heroin on the side.
Yeah.
to fund it all. Yeah. So anyway, so the two boys run into this lion, obviously, and the main boy, Sergey, who is Kraven, he has his gun, but he can't decide to shoot the lion. So Russell Crowe steps in, shoots the lion, but unfortunately, he ends up snagging Sergey, fucking him up. Bad.
The lion does.
Yeah, the lion. And he drags him off. But so the other subplot to this is there's this other girl, Calypso, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Who is visiting her grandmother in Ghana, who is like this priestess, elixir making,
She's
hippie lady.
Like a African medicine woman kind of thing.
Yeah. And Calypso is there also visiting her grandmother on safari. I don't know if I said that already, but her grandmother, okay, cool. Her grandmother gives her this potion, whatever, this special potion, also doesn't say what it is.
Well, real quick, she teaches her kid about tarot cards. And within that tarot card thing, these cards come up and she goes, and then she's like, you need this potion. Right. You're going to need this potion. The cards are saying it. So that's kind of how they tried to lay the foundation of the potion part.
The cards say that there's going to be this terrible accident, which ends up being them running into the lion, I'm assuming, which wasn't really.
Which there is a lion on the card as well, which is interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's hardly an accident when you're out looking for lions. That's also more of a decision. that
Also,
you
the other
made.
thing that Christian glossed over was when he froze, when Sergey, the boy, froze to shoot the lion, there was a moment shared where the lion was like, I'm not going to attack you. And it
Correct.
was Russell Crowe who pissed off the lion and shot him. which
Right.
is which is then the lion was like, all right, well, that's it. Well, now this is happening, and then took his kid and ran off with him.
Yeah, he's basically like saying game on.
Yeah.
So he takes a kid and runs off. Coincidentally, the girl Calypso is on the safari truck with her parents, and for whatever reason that is not explained, she hears something, I guess, and decides to just run off into the woods.
Walk off. She just walks through the Serengeti or through
True.
the Serengeti. She just walks, and the parents are like, where'd our kid go in the middle of this safari?
And they were in a Jeep with the
like
top
an open
off.
air Jeep.
Yeah.
they were not protected at all.
Hell,
From
they were
the steroid lion that was apparently roaming around.
Basically John F. Kennedy out there.
Yeah, that's exactly what they were.
So the girl Calypso walks off. She finds the lion and Sergey, Kraven, and he's all fucked up. And the lion, again, just decides to not attack the girl. There's some mutual witchcraft or respect. And the girl whips out the potion that her grandmother gave her, makes him slam it. And then the lion is standing. Actually, first, the lion is standing over Kraven, and blood drips off of him and falls into his wound, which is how his DNA mixes with lion. And then she gives him the potion, which I guess created some sort of chemical reaction, or
they don't really explain it.
They don't explain the potion. No. They don't explain or how it happened, but it just happens. There's
a lot of lazy things in this movie with that.
So that's how he becomes part lion, basically. Which I'm at the point in my life where I'm like, if my cat drips blood into me, sick, dude. I'll just become a cat. I'll fucking lay up all day, dude, and do nothing.
That would be your superpower, just napping in the sun.
Or I'll become like the fly and my whole body disintegrates and slowly.
Yeah, you only live for a day and then it's over. Yeah, so I mean, that's the basic, like, how he becomes with his powers. And then, there's lots of things. So we don't want to go through the whole plot. You guys should go see it. But that's the impetus for his journey is basically after he has the powers, he kind of decides he's going to live, which this part is hilarious. He's going to live in Russia because he's trying to go as far away from his dad as he can.
Which his dad's from Russia, by the way.
His dad's from Russia, which is hilarious, but whatever. He goes, they were living in London, I guess, at the time, though. So anyway, the kid, or New York or whatever. So he goes as far away as he can into the middle of nowhere and then sees these poachers killing animals. And supposedly that's what sets him off. He's like, all right, I've made the decision right now. I'm a warrior for animals kind of thing.
Yeah. And that was his mom's homeland, which is why he went back there,
they were camping when he was a kid. They would camp there or something. That's right.
Yeah, something like that. And then that was the other thing that wasn't explained, but was kind of hinted at, was that the dad had something to do with the mom dying, but because he told his sons, the story was that she committed suicide. She was sick in the head, which was like pretty fucking. Yeah. He was basically just like, she had a disease,
right? And well, they're trying to lean this the reasoning, or the dad, is that she was mentally weak, and that he didn't want his boys to be mentally weak. And of course, then we can get into this. Kraven has a brother the little brother who is the porcelain doll of the two, which is hilarious because he's not even the one that froze when the lion was there. But anyway, his other brother, is younger, and he's a bastard child from a different mom or whatever. He's, and so he doesn't respect that. But he just thinks both of his boys are weak, and he doesn't want them to be like their mom. But the whole thing is very rushed. You don't really get into what even really happened with the mom, other than she was sent away. The dad sent her away.
Right. And the dad was basically Joe Jackson.
Yeah, just a Russian Joe Jackson.
Yeah, Russian Joe. And by the way, Russell Crowe's accent,
really good.
It's fucking
really good. Yeah.
I mean, the kid is from Australia, and
he's doing things.
He can do English.
Didn't he do Irish or Scottish recently?
Dude,
in another movie?
Yeah, he's done that. He's done Italian, because he did like 3.
Italian's
He
Yeah,
did
that's the one I was
3
thinking of.
Exorcist movies in 1 year for some reason. He just wanted to play a priest for like 3 straight movies. I don't know why.
Well, you know what it reminds me of, which reminds me of a wide receiver in the NFL who's just lost his athleticism, and he's like, "I got to become a better route runner. It's the only way I'm going to succeed." That's exactly what Russell Crowe is doing right now. He's like, "I've lost the abs. Maximus Meridius, whatever. He's gone. Gladiator's out. I got a keg for a belly.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go a different route," and he's nailing it with his route running.
Yeah, no,
his accents.
he's just like, I'll play like a CIA spook for
Yeah.
every role who's, just gotten, kind of let it go a little bit. He did
A little?
he did
No, it's
he did
bad, dude.
he
It's
did
really
Gladiator.
bad.
He did Gladiator, and he was like, I'm good on the
I'm
action
out.
shit. Yeah, I don't want to do again unless he's doing an action movie. He's like a CIA agent who's like in charge of whatever. He's not like seeing any action anymore. He's done with that shit, which is kind of sad because he, I don't know. He probably could have been a pretty decent action hero.
Well, I mean, part of me feels like part of me feels like he didn't want to get typecast, which can happen, right? That could easily happen. So I think he got so much attention for that Gladiator thing and right after he did that, I think he won an Academy Award actually for Gladiator, if I'm not mistaken. And right after he did that, I will. But he, or at least nominated. He actually didn't. He should have won it for a different movie, but there was I think it's called The Insider, where he did another movie shortly after, but it was a humongous departure from Gladiator, like right after that. And I think it was because he didn't want to get typecasts.
Or he was just like,
guys,
or he was just like, I'm gonna fucking eat, dude. I don't give
so
a
listen,
fuck. I'm not.
I'm on fire. I'm on fire. You're gonna need to you don't need to fact check me. I got it. Okay. Yeah, I'm dialed in. He was nominated. He was nominated for The Insider. Right. He was nominated for The Insider, which actually came the year before Gladiator. He won the Oscar for Gladiator. Nailed that. And then as best actor, and then he was nominated again the next year. Man, what a run he had the next year for
3 years in a row.
3 years in a row, best actor nominations. So now, since then,
yeah, he said "fuck you."
Yeah, he was out after that.
Yeah,
I mean,
damn, that's badass.
Yeah,
that's fucking badass.
He was nailing it. And then,
and what about Master and Commander? I bet he got nominated.
No,
he didn't get nominated for that.
Not for an Academy Award. Academy Award wise, he's got a lot of.
Well, whatever. That's still a great fucking movie too.
Yeah, which I actually have never seen it. He was nominated for a Golden Globe for that. However,
okay,
as as Cinderella Man, which was pretty good too.
He was cooking.
He was cooking.
God, yeah, he was fucking cooking.
Yeah, Russell Crowe, and he's great. He's good in this movie too because his role is not overly challenging for him specifically, but if you want, he definitely looks like a Russian mob boss dad, and the accent is unbelievable. And he's okay. By the way, we got to talk about this. Sometimes you don't have to put a lot of effort into making a character appear what they are, and that was the case here tonight. Aside from the accent, they were just like, we're gonna have you carry around a bottle of vodka the entire time.
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna do. We just want to hammer home the point that Russians make vodka and drink vodka. We're gonna hammer that. It's so funny. He's pouring it, he's carrying it, he's breaking bottles. Kills me.
Russell Crowe is probably looking at Aaron Taylor Johnson, because that scene in the very beginning, he escapes the prison, and then he gets on the plane and takes his shirt off for no other reason just to show you how fucking ripped this guy is. And let me tell you, he's fucking
shredded. Yeah.
Yeah. And I bet Russell Crowe looks at that and goes, I could not fucking do it.
No,
I could not fucking do it. And I'm sure some of it's obviously, edited or whatever, but even the final scene where he puts his gay vest on,
his lion mane
it's
vest.
Like his fucking, what's that fashion show in New York, Met Gala vest on.
The Met Gala. Yeah, he was He was
But
one boot away from being in the in the Village People.
yeah, but
It was ridiculous.
yeah, but when he sits down, I mean, it's like this guy. He has 24 abs. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, it's nuts.
Yeah. So I'm sure Russell
So
Crowe. Yeah, but that is an insane run Russell
it
Crowe
was,
had.
yeah, it was really good, and he's
And now
obviously done lots of things since then. But that was the
and
one. I mean,
like,
he did
but honestly, like you look at him, you go, you look good where you're at. He pulls it off. You know what I mean?
sure. I mean, he
The weight,
yeah. Oh
like Philip
yeah,
Seymour Hoffman.
kind of.
Like,
But it's, I think if you yes, if you didn't grow up watching him in Gladiator, you're
sure.
probably going. You're probably like, he's fine. But for me, every time I see him, and that's actually, it's a good segue into what I was going to ask you. Did you see his COVID movie? It came out in peak COVID, and it's now available. It's out again because of, he's getting more attention for, not he's not getting attention, but the movie's kind of popping up now because of Gladiator, and his name gets revitalized. There was a movie called Unhinged that came out in 20 in the in. Did you see that?
Yes.
His irate, his road rage
Yeah.
role.
Yeah.
That was the first time I had seen him in 7-8 years, and let me tell you, I was like, "My God, Russell, you lost it, dude. You look horrendous, dude." Like, I literally was like, "No wonder you have road rage, dude." Like, dude, I'd be pissed too. Your life is just gone a completely wrong direction, dude.
Yeah.
Way too many after parties. I don't know, but yeah, he looked terrible, which worked for that movie. But
Yeah.
anyway,
He
yeah,
also did you see that one with Elizabeth Banks too, where he has to break her out of jail?
no, I don't think I did. It doesn't
That's a
sound
good one.
familiar at all.
That's a good one too.
What's it called? Do you know? You
I
don't
know,
know? It's okay.
like
It's fine.
3 day.
How long? Are you 10 to Yuma?
No,
No, all right.
Kraven.
It's like, that's
No,
definitely
no.
Elizabeth
But
Banks is not in that.
Russell Crowe, Elizabeth Banks.
I'll find it.
Uh,
Anyway, so you said at the top is, I mean, you were like, I didn't hate it, but then we spent like a bunch of time ripping it. So what did, aside from the acting of the villain who played the Rhino, he was really good and basically an unknown from what I can tell. What else did you like about
I thought the action was dope. Throughout it was bloody, it was gory. I thought it was really well done. The movie was entertaining. I liked the locations that they had. I thought they were spread out, like the missionary or whatever in Turkey that he went to. I thought that was cool. Yeah, I just thought it was entertaining. It was more because, well, I'll say this: it got, the opening day was worse than what Madam Web got,
Mhm.
and worse than what Morbius got. And all those movies were complete failures. And so this movie came out and opening day, and still, I'm sure the opening weekend box office was horrific. So I was expecting a piece of shit movie, and it wasn't. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I thought it was entertaining. It's like it's Fast and the Furious. Again, the acting, like, but again, it's a comic book movie. My expectations aren't for Silence of the Lambs. It's just,
Yeah.
I want to be entertained, and there was a lot of things to laugh at. That part too, where the girl, Calypso, she's on the phone with Kraven, and like these lets her know on the phone. They're like, yeah, these people the Rhino's going to be after you because they've exposed my identity, whatever.
They found out who I am. They know who you are. They're coming for you. Yeah.
And she's like 16 stories up in her law firm office building, and she goes, "Oh yeah, I see 5 guys walking through the lobby that look like they're not supposed to be here."
They're wearing
Which
the same
they're wearing
suits
suits
as everyone
yes.
else.
They literally look like they belong there. It was hilarious. And just
Other
like that's
than,
and the laziness of just like, he's like, yeah, they're coming after you, and then immediately she's like, oh yeah, I see them right now from a bird's eye view.
yeah, other than the fact that they were moving as a group, there was no reason to like, but you're right. Like
They were walking like Agent Smith from the Matrix
right,
a little bit.
they totally were.
Yeah. But yeah,
But
other than, yeah,
well, like you
hilarious.
said, it was lazy. Like they were like, they didn't even waste any. It was basically like, we don't have time for her to wait. Like, we got to get this scene in. So she's just gonna see him now. Yeah, it was, and I think that was so. So I hear what you're saying. I mean, I do. Yeah, I mean, I have different takes on it, but I'll start with what I agree with. I agree with the location. I thought locations were really good, and there was a variety of them. I mean, they're in New York, they're in Russia, they're in Ghana. I mean, they're all over. So that was
Lighting
pretty
was
cool.
still fucking terrible.
Yeah, we get into the lighting, which I think is just, at this point we know what that is. So I agree with that. I have a 50-50 take on the action stuff. The fighting part, I was okay with, but some of the him hopping around and climbing looked very glitchy. It looked like he was not even really grabbing stuff. I was like, okay, this is weird. Like he's just like it's almost like they 2D'd him onto a 3D. It was very strange. That part was weird. Didn't love that. And you'll know it when you see it. If you go see this movie, you'll know exactly when you see it. It doesn't look organic. It looks weird. So that part, and I didn't care for. But then there were other scenes, like you said, not just the fighting scenes, but like the I know what I was gonna say. So there's this other random villain in this movie called the Foreigner.
Yeah,
We didn't
the
even get to
migraine.
that, and which is I don't know why they call him the Foreigner. It's never explained at all, except for one ridiculous, again, lazy writing line where he shows up in Russia or something, and they're like, "What are you doing here?" He's like, "I'm not from." Literally, that's literally the only background you get. It's so stupid,
You
so
can't give
lazy.
yourself your own name. You can't
No,
give yourself
dude,
your own nickname, dude.
it's just crazy. But I liked his, and now this is more of a comic thing. I oddly liked his power, but it's not explained. I don't really know what it is. It's some sort of trance he puts you in. He counts. He says 1, 2, 3, and he does like a Houdini thing. It reminded me of Dalsim from Street Fighter 2. He just, it's just he's there and then he's not, and then he's behind you. It was really weird, but I liked it. I didn't like the actor who played him. I didn't care for his vibe. And then at the end, like he's beating up Kraven, which is ridiculous because he looks like a staff accountant. So
Yeah.
I don't care how much poison Kraven had. The guy's got 24 abs. So, and this guy looks like a pencil. It's ridiculous. So and for me, so that was kind of the theme for me. And you kind of touched on it with the writing too. There's moments where everything's fine, and then it's like, what the hell was that? Same thing with the action. The action's great, and then what the hell was that? Or even the CGI. The
Yeah.
lion, really good. The wolf, stupid in the beginning. There's a wolf, and
Oh,
it looks pasted on there.
and the white leopard or whatever the fuck
The
that was.
jaguar, yeah,
The
the
jaguar
jaguar
was fucking
or leopard, yeah.
terrible. Whatever the
Yeah,
fuck.
yeah. So it was just a hit or miss all the time. And what I don't
Can I
understand about this is how you clearly can do it because you're doing it from one scene to the next. It's weird. Just do it.
Well, what's crazy is you look back on movies, and these are some of my favorite tweets where they'll pull up like Pirates of the Caribbean 2, the octopus face guy. Yeah, the CGI on that is unfucking believable,
So
and that
good.
was 20 fucking years ago.
A long time. Yeah.
And it's that some of the best CGI was so long ago, and it's like almost gotten progressively fucking worse. And maybe because they're using, I don't know if they use AI for CGI. Maybe Jesus Christ, we're just getting into.
We're going off the deep end.
Yeah,
But you
AI for
might you might be
CGI.
right though. That could very well be what's happening.
Well, because they're not trying to, pay fucking 150 animators or whatever the fuck it used to be. So, but CGI has definitely gotten, and that's so crazy why it's gotten worse. It shouldn't be fucking worse.
Right. And you were, by the way, almost spot on. It was 18 years ago, but damn close to 20 years was Pirates of the Caribbean 2,
Yeah.
Dead Man's Chest. Yeah.
Also,
Crazy.
I gotta say this. I am fucking sick and tired of the action scenes where they get into a hallway and there's 15 villains all armed with fully auto machine guns and their point blank range and 0 bullets
They
hit
can't
them.
hit him.
They can't
Yeah.
hit him. And he's getting in front of him, tapping it down, swatting it away, fucking all over them. I'm so tired of those fucking scenes. It's been done a million fucking times. I don't understand it. It's so stupid. And they always do that same wrestling move where they like get their like legs up on top of their neck and then like swing them down and fucking.
You
It's
guys
like,
got to watch the live cast to see Christian doing that in his gym shorts.
it's like it's so fucking stupid.
It is. And what's funny is so real quick on that, because I think you're touching on something that I was going to get on anyway. They did 2 scenes of this. And one
Yes, multiple.
and one it was actually really good because they set it up to where you thought Craven was gonna get off the elevator and jack up like 6 or 7 of these guys, but instead the foreigner guy elevator opens and doesn't hurt them at all, which I thought was actually really funny. That part was
Yeah.
good because you're expecting that, right? You see
Yeah,
all the
it's a
guys,
little
all the guns out, you wait,
misdirection.
yeah, a little misdirection, and it was well done. It was kind of funny. And again, I mean, you're just totally summarizing it, everything you say. I'm like, oh, that was good, but this was shit, and that's the whole theme of the movie. It's weird. I can't give it more than 2.5 flames. I just can't because there's no reason for them to not commit other than just pure laziness. But as you pointed out, is it worth the $5.50 or $6 we paid tonight? Absolutely,
Sure.
absolutely. There's some good moments.
But to
There's some
make
really crappy ones.
Yeah, but to make your last 3 movies that have come out, and we didn't see Venom, which I actually enjoyed. I actually enjoyed the first one. I don't think I've seen the second. I don't think I've seen the sequel, but the last 3 were just complete bombs. It's insane to me. Maybe they already had this one in the can and they're like, just fucking send it out there. But yeah, I'm tired of the scenes in the hallways where he did the thing where he runs up the wall.
Which we Your athleticism is on full display tonight. Well, that was going to be the other thing I said about his superpowers, which we can, maybe this will be the last bashing thing. Hey, newsflash: lions don't do any of the things that he was doing.
Definitely not.
His superpower, it's like they tried to hybrid him with Nightcrawler, with
Right.
with a lion and other, like. And what's crazy is, conceptually, forget this movie for a second and keep thinking about the comic itself. What I walked away from story wise was, wow, this is actually a really good comic. I liked it. I liked the concept of the hunter. I liked what could have been a really cool origin story of a superpower that they didn't do, or at least not well. And that might be a Stan Lee problem because I'm pretty sure they keep that the same. So, but I really liked that idea of animals and all that. Then it's just, yeah, like monkeys do what he was doing, not
Right.
lions and cats.
Right. They're not jumping 40 feet and running up walls. And yeah, definitely. It was way more chimpanzee oriented than.
Yeah, it's strange.
And then sometimes,
very strange.
There were some scenes where he was fast enough to chase a car, and then other scenes where he was like, I'm not that fast. I'm not as fast. And you're like in the beginning with the poachers, the truck was taking off, and you're like, oh, I expect him to run after him. He's like, nah, I can't do that. And then his brother gets kidnapped.
I don't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then his brother gets kidnapped, and then he's all over the road, baby. He's just
dude, it's so crazy. Yeah, he's running faster, and so, yeah, you're totally right. I noticed that too. I'm like, why did he stop? He clearly could just keep going. So yeah, it was pretty funny.
And then the girl, when she kills the foreigner, because obviously the girl's gonna save Kraven, obviously, and he's like, where'd you learn that? Wherever she goes, I got secrets too, and they just don't elaborate on that.
They just don't.
She's like this master archerist, I guess. Yeah. They don't dive into that, or why she had more of the elixir. She goes, it's my family's legacy, is what she says. They don't go into that. And then
I feel like that stuff is because of what you mentioned when we walked out, which is these are comic characters. They have to do another movie, but they probably won't in this case, but you have to tee it up like that, right? Because she could have her own movie.
That's what I'm saying. They have now, Sony has now canceled any further plans on any of these movies. So it's just, that's it.
Yeah.
And then, so that's it. But yeah, I mean, it's an entertaining movie. And it's fun there's some funny parts to laugh at. It's great.
So you were talking earlier, we can transition now and maybe more into just kind of the failures of the Sony movies. Now, again, so we've got a little bit of interesting, conflicting viewing habits here. I have not seen Venom, any of them. I did see Morbius. You did not. And Morbius got crushed, as all of these movies did. But I watched that one, and I felt like it was a way better. Well, I can't even say this. It was a way better film. It was more well done. There was none of the laziness that we saw today. None of that. And obviously, Jared Leto, or Leto, however you want to pronounce his name, he's a really accomplished actor. So you get that. in Morbius. You absolutely get it. And there's a villain in that who does a really great job too. I think he's probably British too. Again, the Brits, if you're following us on this podcast, they're taking over the world in terms of film. So I'm not entirely sure why. I mean, I really don't know why Morbius got crushed the way it did, because to me, it's a better movie than what we saw tonight. And it's not really close. Now, maybe people don't like the character. They don't like the that's possible, and that might just be all it is. Or maybe people just had Leto fatigue. They're just, Jared Leto's he had been kind of on the rise at that time. Like I forget what. Oh, from the Batman movie that he did where he played Joker, and he was all pissed off about not getting the respect he deserved there or whatever.
Well, he sucked. That's why.
Yeah.
And also,
but he blamed the writing.
He has a valid point there. Give him that.
Yeah.
And he was destined to play a vampire. He is a vampire. Yeah. So, like, when that role came up, he was like, abso-fucking-lutely, I'm going to crush that regardless of the writing, because he genuinely is a vampire, I'm pretty sure.
So I think what we should do is I think you should watch Morbius, and I should watch Venom. We can do that at home, and then we can compare notes later. Because I don't understand the hate for that at
Venom,
all. Like, compared.
And Venom, you're getting Tom Hardy.
Right, that's what I'm saying. These are actors who are like, which that's the other part that's weird, is seeing all these like high acclaimed actors in these comic movies. It's like, you know what it reminds me of? They're the LIV golfers. They're just like, how much?
Yeah,
how much,
dude?
Yeah, I'm in.
Yeah, abso-fucking-lutely. And it's not, again, like, they're not, the bar for your performance is so fucking low. It's an easy paycheck for them, I'm sure.
And they walk off on set and offset the best actors in the movie without doing anything hard. Like, they're just naturally the best.
And like, I mean, obviously, if you can get attached to a movie that could go 2, 3, 4, a franchise, you're like, I mean, yeah, you'd be stupid not to do it.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you'd probably ask a lot of these, like Ryan Reynolds has been very vocal about how much of a piece of shit Green Lantern was and how it almost ruined his career. Right. Like he's talked openly about that and how much he fucking hates that movie.
Right.
But yeah, when you're, movies don't grow, they don't grow on trees. You got to fucking do what you can do to survive. But most of it is dog shit at this point.
I think what they started doing, which you can sort of see them doing this. Avengers. I mean, Avengers was just like, we got to make all the stars accomplished. Okay, that's one of the reasons why that did so well. Like, we're not gonna put we have to put all names in here. They legitimized it by putting all these big name actors in it and getting them to do it. Frankly, getting them to buy in and be like, because Ryan Reynolds, when he did Green Lantern, he was a nobody. He wasn't nothing special.
Yeah, that was before any of the Marvel shit too.
Oh, it's way early. Yeah.
Yeah, and the issue is like, what Avengers was so great, Iron Man was so great, all that was because it was never done before. It was the first time anybody was seeing that come alive on screen, and that's why it had the success it did. But we're at a point now where we've seen all these characters, and even and with the Kraven, we've never seen this character, but at this point we're just like, who gives a fuck? Like,
well, the powers are not they're not unique anymore.
No.
You've seen all the heroes.
He's Spider-Man, but with lion monkey powers.
Right.
Mostly
and I
monkey.
think, and again, there's just it's a lot of laziness is really what it is, and that's I mean, frankly, that's just what it is. So
I will say this though, all the trailers that we watched, I thought were pretty fucking tight. I think next year is going to be.
Do you remember what they were?
Well, yeah, you had that action movie with the guy from Indiana Jones. That looked good.
Do you know what it's called?
Love something.
That's why I'm here.
Something Love.
I forgot I saw the preview, which is hilarious, but I know the name of it. It's called Love Hurts.
Yeah, Love Hurts.
Yeah.
That looked good. Both of the Jack Quaid movies look good, which, by the way, he's the hottest piece in town, apparently.
Is that Dennis Quaid's son?
Yes.
Okay.
So he was the one. So it's the movie where he couldn't feel any pain. And then
that one I think is really cool. I love that concept, and I'm stunned that hasn't been done before. It's pretty cool.
There was a James Bond villain that had
but I mean,
but not like that.
Not done like this, yeah.
But and then the first trailer with Jack Quaid, the horror horror movie looking trailer. I think it was called not compatible, something like that. But that looked
What say
interesting.
which one? What's in it? Is
The
this
first
Jack
trailer,
Quaid again?
yeah, it was the one
He
with
had
the
two
girl.
trailers tonight.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
That's what you're saying? Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
but the first trailer was the one with the girl. She was lighting her hand on fire. He was like he looks like obviously the villain.
Yeah, I didn't even realize he was in that. You're talking about so the one where he can't feel pain, that's called Novocaine, and that does look good. So
That
stay
looked
tuned
good.
for that, everybody. The other one you're talking about is, and I'm pulling it up now, it's a horror movie that should just come right up. Should be the first thing that happens here.
Well,
Go ahead.
and then the other horror movie from the director of Longlegs, The Monkey, that looked interesting.
Oh, you're right. It is called Companion. Yeah. Sorry.
Companion. I said compatible.
Yeah. You were very
Companion.
close.
Yeah, that looked good. They all look decent. I've seen a lot of movies coming out next year. I think it's going to be a really good year, a better year for sure.
Hey, you know what's cool about Jack Quaid?
He looks just like his dad.
He's American. He's American.
I know. Yeah, full blood.
He's
USA,
not British.
baby.
Yeah, I'm wondering if who his mom is. It's not Meg Ryan. Probably.
She's fucking British, dude.
Probably.
I'm betting my fucking life on it right now.
That's so funny. Okay. So
speaking of good calls, I was watching The Family Stone last night, and I was telling my girl about the story we had when I think we were buying our mom a gift certificate from a salon. Correct me if I'm.
I think long time ago.
No, you froze. I got a vent.
I was frozen for a minute there. Go ahead.
You there?
Can you not hear me?
You froze.
Yeah, everything
bad.
froze for a second, but you're back.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think it was for Mother's Day. We were buying her a gift certificate. And we walk in there, and there's this guy. He had just gotten, I don't know, his eyebrows waxed or whatever he was doing.
Probably. Maybe other
things. He was
like,
yeah, I don't know. But he was like, yeah, me and the family last night, we just watched The Family Stone. It's a real tearjerker. And Nick and I just started busting up laughing uncontrollably because we were just like, what?
well, okay, quick context, because there's a reason why that on its own isn't that funny, but here's the context for it. He was clearly a single dude or like a mid-aged guy, and he was in a salon, obviously that's where we were, full of these like women at the front desk. So it was very obvious that he was like trying to flirt or show his feminine side with these like hostesses at the spa. And just the way he said it, me and Christian just looked at each other immediately like, this guy.
Dude, he struck me as a married guy, but with maybe the same intentions, if you know what
maybe
I mean.
the same intentions.
Yeah.
He was trying to be, point is he's trying to be charming when he said it's a real tearjerker.
And I think you and I had to have had some knowledge of what this movie was. Otherwise, we wouldn't have laughed like that, because it's like the most like Hallmark movie. I
was so bored. So bored.
Have you seen the film?
Yeah, I saw it even before then.
Okay, see, I hadn't seen it. I just saw the trailer and I already knew what it was. But yeah, the way he said it, he was just like, it was a real tearjerker. Like, it was just so fucking douchey, but
that's the right word for it.
Yeah, just douchey. But I watched it last night, and dude, the premise is hilarious. Like, the two sisters going to Christmas dinner, meeting this family for the first time, and then swapping spouses is fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it's absolutely wild.
Yeah.
But
I got to say, though, at the end, when Diane Keaton is dead, that was kind of, I was like, I might cry right now. I was like, holy shit.
It's a real tearjerker, huh?
It almost got me. I was like, who am I becoming? And I was telling my girl about the movie before. So I was like, I cannot cry. Because I was already talking shit. But what I was going to say is, I was telling her, I was like, I think that came out in 2005, and I nailed it.
Yeah, you did.
Googled it.
You
nailed
absolutely
it.
did.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was like, damn, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's fucking, a crazy premise. The most Christmas movie ever.
Admittedly, you just talked about how old it is. So 19 years ago. I don't remember. I mean, I remember as you're talking, I remember the whole sister thing and all of that. But I just remember me watching that movie and just being bored as hell. Like I was just not into it at all. I was like, this movie sucks like the whole time. Now, maybe it was my youth. I mean, that was a long time ago, so I was probably just like, this is not my cup of tea right now. I don't want to watch this.
Yeah, I jumped in halfway. So it was nice for me. I didn't watch it the whole
You
way through.
halfway through. Wow, what an admission to say later.
Yeah.
All right, so you didn't even sit through the whole thing. No wonder. Okay, all right.
No. And I didn't have to deal with the part because I'll say this, like if Haley would have grabbed the remote and be like, "Oh, we should watch Family Stone," I would have hate watched it the entire time because I would have been fucking mad. I'm like, I don't want to fucking watch this. But if you come in halfway on a movie, it kind of grips you because you
Did
don't.
you
You're
even
just
know what it was when you came
no,
into it?
no, I
That's
didn't
why.
until
Yeah. Yeah.
exactly until we
Yeah.
paused it and I saw what it was, and then I was like, "Oh, this is hilarious." So if you come in halfway through a movie, I think any movie, your brain is just like, oh, I'm kind of interested in this. But if you know what it is going into it, I would have tuned out immediately. But I started
Yeah.
watching it. I was like, this isn't so bad. It's all right. But yeah,
It's
it was
the it's got such a crazy cast. I mean, it's got a lot of people in it. Rachel McAdams, Luke
Luke
Wilson,
Wilson.
he's just that guy. That's probably why I was bored. I can't. That guy, he was in so many movies in the early 2000s, and I still for the life of me go, how? At least Owen Wilson is funny. Like you got nothing. You have nothing. Like you're the same. You play this talking about being typecast. It's just terrible, dude. But he made a run. He had a run, like
I
for a
mean,
minute
old
there.
school. Yeah. All that.
Yeah,
I, yeah, you're totally right, though. I'm not ever mad to see him in a movie, but it doesn't do anything for you ever, really. You know what I
he's
mean?
just got the eyebrows.
Yeah, he's
He's
just
a
always
droopy.
looking like kind of confused. Like all of his acting
Yeah,
is in his face. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. It's
I'm
really,
never,
it's just.
I'm never mad to see him on screen though.
I am. He bugs
And
me.
uh, well, he was great in Anchorman when he got both his arms cut off. That was great.
That's true, and I think it's because they were tearing him apart. I was like, absolutely, this is exactly what I've been waiting for.
When his second arm gets cut off, and he goes, "God damn it!"
Yeah, yeah, right. Which, yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying is he has like he's more of a straight edged comedic relief guy, but he's just not that good at it. So it's just like okay, whatever. But he's Owen Wilson's brother, so it's fine.
Yeah,
But anyway, all right. So the Family Stone, I saw a movie. That's what you watched this
hit
past
me.
week. I saw a movie we have to talk about. Not super long because you haven't seen it, but it's
I
got
might have.
it's got vibes right now that are kind of freaking me out a little and freaking out my daughter as well. So there is a new Megan Fox movie on Netflix right now, who sadly her and MGK are now splitsies while she's got the baby in the womb, which who saw that coming? Oh, that's right.
Bro, that's classic Hollywood.
It's classic. It's classic what?
Classic Hollywood.
Yeah, well, it's classic musicians and as well. It's just so funny. But anyway, so I mean, it's not funny, but it's funny. Anyway, so she did a movie that is called Subservient. Have you heard of this?
I watched it.
You watched it.
Yep,
Okay, so you watched it too.
I saw
Didn't
it.
even we didn't even sync up on this. I have two things to say. One, as if women didn't have enough to worry about. They're hanging on by a thread, right? In terms of like trying to keep men around from being the dogs that they are. And now they got to worry about robots with female parts where they're just making robots in this movie like full fleshy. You can
Right.
have sex with robots,
Right.
which apparently, and of course, why not make them all look like Megan Fox? Of course, they would do that. So that was the first thing I thought was like, this is hilarious. That like, but as the movie went along, though, I started having this thought: it's closer than you think. It's
Yes.
a lot closer than you think.
100%. 100%.
Not the whole taking over the world thing, like that part, like the whole iRobot, and they're just gonna go, they're gonna go rogue and all that. That part, no, but they're taking our jobs, yes,
Definitely.
and they can do things that you would not expect them to do, yes. And part of me was like, yeah, Jamie hates doing laundry. I hate doing laundry. Get someone in here to do that.
100%.
We hate it.
Yeah. And that movie's hilarious too because she had zero motive. There was zero motive established in that movie for why she was programmed to do what she was doing. which was hilarious. She was just there to cause chaos. And
No,
secondly,
there was motive.
what?
They tried to hit it multiple times, but they just didn't do a good job at it.
What?
The motive was the primary user. She's supposed to look out for the health of the primary user always. That was her motive. Is like
Sure.
he was stressed out. His cortisol levels were high.
Right.
So let me take off my clothes and lower those for you, big boy. Like, but that was always her thing. Like remember the baby's a burden. It's stressing them out. That's not in my primary user's best interest, right? So it was like that. That was the motive because she's a robot. That's all she's supposed to do. But they just didn't do it that well. So clearly, because you already forgot about it.
Yeah. So, and the whole thing too is like his wife is in the hospital while he's cheating, having an affair with this robot, and
with her life on the line.
Right.
Not just in the hospital, like fighting for her life,
And it's funny, I was in the kitchen, like Haley was watching, my girl was watching it from the couch, and I was in the kitchen like doing dishes or something. And she asked me, she goes like, would you like, she goes, would you do that? And I took it as, would I have sex with Megan Fox robot? And I was like, yeah, probably. And she goes, you would do that? And then I go, what do you mean?
Yeah,
She
probably.
Goes, yeah. I mean, yeah. And then,
like, are the parts real?
Yeah. And then she goes, no, I mean like the hospital thing. I go, no, obviously. I wouldn't fucking cheat on you while you're on your deathbed with a robot. I thought you meant if I was just like a single man on my own and this was available to me, I would probably do it. And then so she was like, what the fuck? And I was like, no, that's not what I meant.
Your answer wasn't depends. Does it look like Megan Fox? That was the answer I thought you were going to say.
I just answered way too quick. I was just like, yeah, probably.
Yeah, you were reflexing that. It's good to know your honesty in your relationship is high, though.
I mean, dude, if this thing, which is very close to becoming a reality, when it does, it will happen. It will absolutely happen. There's already guys like the movie She or Her, where Joaquin Phoenix
with Joaquin Phoenix, yeah,
where he falls in love with the AI. That's already a thing. Dudes are already talking to Chat GPT like it's their girl. Like it's already happening. And as soon as they create a body of flesh for it, it's fucking over.
Well, that's what I was saying. My first thought was like, and it's a sad thought, but my first thought was like, oh my god, this is another thing.
But as a married man, already, like, if you need a housekeeper, everybody knows you don't hire a fucking hot housekeeper. You hire a 60-year-old lady who's retired. You don't
the same thing with the secretary and everything else.
Of course.
You avoid the temptations.
Yeah, of course. You don't bring that into your fucking house.
Well, remember, I didn't pick her. The child picked her. Your daughter picked her.
Sure.
That was my favorite.
But
I didn't have anything to do with it. She said she could make lasagna, so we picked her.
Another thing too. My point to Haley too. I was like, well, and also it is just a robot, so there is that. Not saying I'm not trying to justify.
You're trying to use his excuse. It's gears and parts.
Yeah, exactly. I mean that's what vibrators are. But yeah,
he used the same exact excuse.
Yeah, which is hilarious.
So funny.
But then the other thing too I thought was funny was like within 10 minutes of her being there, I was like, I'm already annoyed with her. Get her the fuck out of here.
She's always in the corner staring at me constantly.
Like, I'm already fucking, this is already annoying. Get her the fuck out of here.
Well, it's so funny you say that because I wouldn't say annoyed, but there was the part where the daughter's trying to sneak and get cookies and she walks into the kitchen, but the robot Megan Fox is just standing against the wall in the dark though, but just like a statue.
Yeah.
I was on the couch and I went like this. Jesus Christ. Like, I would not want that. I would not want to just turn a corner and she's just there. That's terrifying to me. And like the whole, like every single time she's in the room with the guy, she's always taking his vitals and his cholesterol levels. And I'd just be like, fucking stop that. Stop analyzing me. Yeah. Like fucking stop doing that. It's like when your girl sees a pimple on your back and they're just like, let me fucking get that. And you're like, just fucking chill. That's the annoying part. You're like, you care way too much for your primary user. Yeah, it's just doing way too much, man. Chill the fuck out. But okay, we're at an hour and 4 minutes, so let's get to our what stinks this week segment. What do you got this week? What stinks? I had to again with the cat news. I'm so sorry, but I had to. Our kitten. We had to get her spayed, not neutered, because she doesn't have balls. Apparently, there's a difference. I thought it was the same thing. There's a difference. So we had to get her spayed, had to drop her off at 8:00 in the morning at the shelter when it was pouring fucking rain. And
you have to text them when you get there, and they're like, someone will come out. So I get there, I text the number, and I can kind of see a crowd gathering around wherever I guess you're supposed to gather. So I kind of get out of the car, and a worker comes out, and she's like, "Are you here for cat spaying?" And I was like, "Yes, me." And then
Yeah, me.
yeah, I was like, "Absolutely." And she comes up to me, and she goes, "What's the name of the cat?" And I was like, her adoptive name was Sophie, so I was like, "Sophie." She goes, "I'm not looking for that one." And I already have the cat out of the car, and I go, "Well, can you just take her now?" And she goes, "No, I can't." It's fucking pouring rain, and so I'm like, "All right." So I get back in the car. She comes out exactly 1 minute later and goes, "Okay, I can take her now." And
Oh my God.
I go, "Great,
Great.
yeah, sweet." Which
What
is
just
what
happened in the last 60 seconds?
exactly. So, um, so everything's fine. We pick her up, and my girl goes out and gets her like a protective onesie so she doesn't fuck with lick the wound and all that and get it infected, because it's either that or a cone, and a cone on a cat
Right.
is fucking nuts. So
Not a cat.
it's fucking crazy, dude.
That's hilarious.
It's just never gonna happen. And so we get her, or Haley gets her into this onesie, and we go to bed
Which
last.
that right there, I gotta give major pro.
I
That's
don't know,
like trying to get out of a hammock. I don't know how she got. How did
dude.
she get a onesie on a cat, dude? That's
Well,
crazy.
her mom was over, and they tag teamed it, but yeah, still
Yeah, Jesus,
fucking nuts. So
nuts.
they get this onesie on her, and she's like jumping like Looney Tunes, like when they get like shocked. She's like,
Yeah, like she's got tape on her feet. Yeah,
yeah, doing like when dogs they put those like dog
yeah,
shoes, yeah, and they're
yeah. The
just
booties.
yeah, and so whatever. She goes and hides all night. Fine. We go to bed, and I'm up all night with this cat. She's just in the cat box, just like digging and digging, because like they can use the bathroom in the onesie, but she's obviously so fucked, like it's just awkward for her. So she's just sitting in the cat box. Where I literally woke up at probably 1:30, and I was up till like 3:34, just with this cat in and out of the fucking cat box. And I didn't realize this because I was too tired. But the next morning, Haley wakes up and goes out into the living room, and she finds the cat onesie separate from the cat,
I knew this is where this was headed.
independent of the cat. And it looked like Freddy Krueger's sweater. Just
Shredded.
shredded it.
She ripped it off her chest like Wolverine.
Dude, there was just a million holes in it. Dude, we still don't know how she got it off her, because she didn't rip a hole big enough to get out. It was just a million separate holes.
No, she
in it.
snagged it in just the right spot where she could rip it off her head.
Dude,
That is insane. The
Yeah.
animals do crazy things. I mean, when I think about that, I think two things. One is we have a Yorkie Maltese, so we have a Morkie as they call it, and she can weasel her way out of like a collar, that's really tight. If she shakes her head and wiggles it enough, like it gets her body all contorted, she can wiggle out of her freaking collar when I'm on a walk sometimes. So that's one thing. But the other thing is like the craziest thing I think you'll see is you could Google YouTube this, is how a mouse can squeeze through a hole like a quart the size of a freaking nickel, and it gets its whole body through it. Like
Dude,
it does bizarre things, crazy
cat
things.
cats can do that. Cats can get under. I've seen a video of a cat getting under a door.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like they can contort and bend their bodies in ways. Yeah, my
Ways
cat
that
last
you
night-
were not doing earlier. You're Kraven.
Our kitten was literally possessed last night and like dislocated her shoulder like Houdini.
Like 127 hours, freak breaks her arm.
Yeah, so it was
Yeah,
a
that's
long
bizarre,
fucking night.
dude.
That's why I was so
Yeah,
sleepy
well,
today, because I just did not sleep well last night, or sleep
Christian
at all.
said we had a movie at 4:35 and he woke up at 4 o'clock. So, but you made it. We made it in time.
Yeah, so
Okay, well that's a good what stinks. We'll see how many cat related weeks you can do in a row.
I hope that's the last one. They're both vaccinated. They're both licensed. It's all good.
They're both on the grid.
Can I say this though, real quick?
Yeah.
Going to the championship game, baby.
Yes.
Going to the
Christian, the Biscuits are rising. Christian's fantasy name is the Waterlogged Biscuit. He was the 8th seed. He is now in the championship. So what a story. Mr.
Crazy.
Irrelevant, the Brock Purdy of the Ray Finkel Invitational. And he's got everyone rooting for him now. And you're actually playing the defending champion, Leviticus Williams.
Yeah.
Also known as Brees's Pieces. What a game! What a story! So yeah, good
And
luck.
it's probably gonna be close. I'm looking at the matchup. I think I got a shot. So I never win
You're telling me
anything.
there's a chance.
I never win anything ever. So I'm very excited to be here.
Dude, I would love to hand deliver that Finkel jersey to you. You could wear it on the pod.
I know.
That would
I
be
will.
great.
I absolutely will.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, cool. Well, I don't personally, I'm trying to think if I have anything that really stinks this week. I don't have anything that just like stands out. So I'm not going to just manufacture something. I could go on and on about lots of things.
Well, we're at an hour 12, baby. We did it.
The cost of living is really what stinks, but that's all the time.
Well, I'll say this. I got a Den of Thieves ripping right now on the big screen.
Okay. The OG?
Yes.
That's Gerard Butler, yeah?
Yes. Great fucking film.
Because there's another one coming out.
That's coming out too. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of movies coming out, and we'll be here for all of them with you, and we will try to see Christian's evolving. You know, there was a world where he wouldn't have seen Kraven, but he knows he's got to see these movies now. So we're gonna keep coming at you with content.
I thought when I saw the trailer, I was like, and it was rated R. That was another thing too. So I was like, yeah, I'm interested.
For no real reason. Now that I'm thinking about it, there was not a lot of rated R references at all. So
I was just
strange.
Just bloody, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, because there wasn't even really cussing in this that I remember, actually. So weird now that you're saying that.
Yeah.
2.5 flames, guys. Not great. Just
I think that's
entertaining.
generous.
Yeah, I'm being generous with that half flame. But yeah, go to thescreengods.com. I'll have a full review up there, and we'll get into it. The name of the review is going to be 50/50. That's going to be the name of this review. But again, like Christian said at the top, follow us on Spotify, on Apple Pods, wherever you get your pods. Thescreengods.com. You can see us there. YouTube at Screen Gods. Don't go to X. Christian isn't updating X, so we'll let you know when to go to X.
It's pending.
It's pending. What's pending? A post? All right, guys. Stay tuned for his pending post. I don't know when it will not be pending. And follow us on the talk. We got another follower this week. We got one follower we actually got a follower on Instagram too. But we're going to need a lot more from you. So, share, like, subscribe, all that stuff.
Yes. Thank you so much, guys. Love the support. Love you always. And we'll see you next week.